Do you have a hard time speaking English? Do you struggle to speak fast? Do you feel like you always use the exact same words over and over again? Well, if so, today's lesson is for you because I'm going to give you the formula to speak English fast. I'm Teacher Tiffany. Let's jump right in. All right, I have a special announcement first. Starting tomorrow, I am going to be starting a daily series. That's right, you've been asking me for so long to start a daily English series. And this series is all about you. Every day, Monday to Friday, I'm going to feature one of you, one of my students, in a conversation. Now, it starts tomorrow, and it's called Conversations with Tiffany. I've been enjoying all of the interviews, and I know that you're going to enjoy seeing other students just like you. So, check it out tomorrow, and you will enjoy it. All right, so here we go. Let's get started with today's lesson. First, we have the formula. C plus G plus I. Now remember, this is the formula you are going to use to speak English fast, specifically about your goals and future plans. So let's see how to use this formula. Here we go. All right, so again, C plus G plus I. Now, we have different goals in our lives, and you are the same. So you have English study goals, you have family goals, you have work and business goals, you have exercise goals, and you even have financial goals. All of these goals you can speak about using this simple formula, C plus G plus I. So let's start with the C. Now the letter C stands for current. And basically what you're going to do is describe your current situation. This is the first thing you want to do whenever you're speaking about a future plan or a future goal, okay? So how can we do this? Here we go. Let's say, for example, you're talking about your English study goals. You can say, currently, I am studying English by watching various YouTube videos, like this one right here. Let's keep going. Every morning, I study English for an hour before I go to work. I usually start by memorizing 10 English vocabulary words. Then I write in my English journal while listening to English music. So you see what happened? I just explained very simply my current situation related to English. You can do the same. You don't have to worry about the amount of sentences. Just explain your situation simply, okay? Now, what if we're talking about, let's say, family goals? My boyfriend and I have been together for about 2 years. This is not true. It's just an example. I know you guys are going to ask me in the comments, ooh, teacher, your boyfriend. No, not right now. All right. So my boyfriend and I have been together for about 2 years. We are in a long distance relationship because he has to work in California and I live in New York. But he makes it a point to come and visit me every month. Now, I want to explain something to you. Makes it a point. This is an amazing expression that you can use when you speak in English. Now, make it a point just means to make something a priority, to make something important, to make sure you do something no matter what. We say make it a point to ... Okay? All right. So again, I explained my current situation. Then let's move on to work and business goals. At the beginning of last year, I got a job at Google working as a web developer. Things have been going well so far, and I really enjoy my coworkers. My boss always looks for new ways to enhance our website, so our team focuses on coming up with creative design strategies. Now, really quickly, I have to apologize for my voice, and I may have to sniffle a few times. Sniffling is this. That's what sniffling is. I think I'm catching a little bit of a cold. I feel okay, but I wanted to let you know what you're hearing in the background if you ever hear me sniffle. All right? Okay, so I want to explain one of the words, okay? One of the words, let me show you again. Enhance our website. Now, the word enhance just means to make better, to make something more beautiful, to make it more useful. We say enhance, all right? Okay, so now moving on to the next one. Now we have exercise goals. I usually get up around 5 a.m. and head straight to the gym. Head straight to. We use head straight to when we want to say that we don't do anything else. We immediately go somewhere. Okay, we say head straight to, like head. That's why we say head straight to. Okay, then let's continue. When I get to the gym, I stretch and then run for 3 miles. My run typically lasts about 30 minutes. Okay, and finally, financial goals. Last year, I started listening to a podcast about the importance of saving money. After listening to the podcast, I decided to save 10% of my entire income. So, for the last several months, I have been putting 10% of my income away in a separate savings account. Now, I said putting something away, putting away something that I've earned. Now, when we use this about money, putting away just means to save. It just means save and also to not touch it. Okay? Now, what happened? I gave you the current situation for each of the categories, right? My financial goals, my exercise goals, my family goals. I have to tell you first, letter C, the first part of the formula, my current situation, because we want to make sure that the person listening to you understands what's going on first. You want them to be able to picture in their mind, this is what's currently going on, and then they'll be able to connect with your goal and understand why it's your goal. Okay? All right, so now moving on to the second part of the formula. Here we go. Letter G, the goal. So you're going to describe your future goal in detail. All right? So here's what's going to happen. Now you'll notice at the top right, there are 3 circles. There are 3 colored circles. All right? These circles give us an idea of how we can lay out what we're going to say. All right? We're speaking about our goal, but look at the circles again. Basic goal, goal explanation, and the reason for the goal. All right, so here's what it's going to look like. Here's what it's going to look like. My goal is to do a road trip across America next year with 3 of my friends. Now, this is true. I want to do a road trip so bad. For those that may not know, a road trip is just a trip you go on by car. So I'm going to drive across America as opposed to flying across America. We call that a road trip. Okay? All right, so again, I'm giving you my basic goal first. Now I'm going to move into explaining the goal. All right, so here we go. The plan is to arrive in New York, rent a car, and then spend 3 weeks driving all the way to California. I have always wanted to visit America, but it is a large country. Now you noticed how I started to give you the reason for this goal. I've always wanted to what? Visit America. And it's a large country. Now, again, I'm American, but I'm speaking as if I was a student like you. Okay? Now I continue. So the best way to truly experience it is to drive around in a car. All right. Now, what about family goals? Here we go. Honestly, my goal is for us to get married. Remember, I'm speaking about my boyfriend. All right. I want to start a family with him as soon as possible. He is truly the man of my dreams, and I know that he is going to be an amazing father. Okay, let me explain that to you. So I said man of my dreams. This is an expression we use in English to kind of explain my ideal or the type of man I desire. Think about it when you were growing up, and you can also say woman of your dreams for the guys watching this, okay? So think about when you were growing up, and when you just kind of sit and think, oh man, when I get married, he's going to be this, he's going to be that. It's kind of a dream, right? So we say man of my dreams because he's the man I imagined. He matches everything that I want in a man. Does that make sense? And again, for the guys, you can use this for women as well. The woman of your dreams, okay? It's a really useful expression that we use in English, okay? All right, so let's keep going. What about our work and business goals? My goal is to start my own web development business next year. Again, the basic goal. Now moving into the explanation. I want to employ new web developers right out of college so that they can develop and hone their creative skills. All right, now we have a new vocabulary word, hone. Now, Hone just means to perfect something, to make something better, to improve. I want to hone my skills. Right now, you're watching this English video lesson, because you want to hone your English skills. You want to improve. You want to be better. And I know you can do it. I believe in you, okay? So you want to hone your English skills. All right, let's keep going. Now, the reason. The main reason I want to do this is because someone did the same thing for me. All right. Now, what about exercise goals? My goal is to get up to 5 miles a day. Now, get up to means I want to reach this. Right now, I'm running 3 miles a day, right? I want to move up to 5 miles a day, running 5 miles a day, my basic goal. Now I need to explain it. Okay, so here we go. Basically, I want to build up my endurance and run at a consistent pace for 5 miles. Now, the reason. I read some studies that explained how running 5 miles a day can add years to your life. Now, this is true. Exercise does really help. So, if you're not exercising, come on, join me. Exercise every day and you will feel amazing. Your body, man, you'll feel so much more rejuvenated. Now, I want you to look that word up. Rejuvenated. Okay, I'll tell you. Just means to have more energy and to feel more alive. Okay? All right, now moving on to our next one. We have the financial goals. My long-term goal is to buy a new house for my parents. Now, this is also true, all right? Now, I specifically would like to buy a house that they can grow old in and never have to worry about any bills. The reason I want to do this is because they have supported me so much throughout my life. Now, really quickly, as you're following along with this lesson, don't worry. Remember, you can always download the PDF connected to this lesson so you can review after. So just watch it and follow along. And then the link at the bottom, you can download the PDF for free that has all of the text inside of it. Okay? Why? Because I care and I want you to learn English. All right? Now, we have to move on to the third part of our formula. The first one was C, excellent job, which stands for, you got it, current. Then we have G, which stands for, come on, excellent. It stands for goal. Now we're going to move to the third part of our formula. Here we go. The third part is the letter I, influence. So explain how your current situation will influence you as you try to reach your goal. This is so important. Remember, English is all about being able to explain and express your ideas. So we started off with our current situation, right? And in the middle, we explained our goal, and now we have influence. Basically, we're connecting. How does my goal connect with my current situation? Like this. All right, so here we go. Again, explain how your current situation will influence you as you try to reach your goal. So, English study goals. The fact that I am consistently studying English every single day for an hour will help my English improve faster. Now, this is definitely true. All right, let's keep going. This will help me feel more comfortable speaking English when I go on the road trip with my friends. Now it makes sense. If I'm going to go on a road trip and I'm a student like you learning English and I want to go on a road trip, the fact that I'm studying consistently every single day, I actually will speak really well when I go on the road trip. Make sense? All right, now what about family goals? Okay, so here we go. The fact that he is so happy to come see me every month, despite having a busy work schedule, makes me love him even more. This is actually what led me to start thinking about having a family with him. Let's have a short pause. Now I'm not Teacher Tiffany, I'm your sister. For the guys that are watching this video, take care of your women. Take care of your girlfriend or your wife. Let her know that she's special. Trust me, as a woman, it's the small things, the little things that count. So if you send your wife or your girlfriend a message, just letting her know that you care about her, oh my goodness, she is going to feel amazing. Just wanted to give you that tip real quick. All right, now I'll go back to Teacher Tiffany. All right, so here we go. Now, let's say, for example, we're talking about our work and business goals. Since my boss is such a great leader, I'm learning how to properly manage and inspire a team. These skills will help me run my business better and inspire my own team. All right, moving on to exercise goals.